we have to be very careful in the way that we interpret what's going on in other countries. So Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the opposition leader, has said that if there's one person responsible for the earthquake disaster, it is Erdogan. Zoning amnesty is an invitation to death. Well, the simplistic approach which is often given in Western media is that Erdogan relaxed the strict earthquake codes. Actually, what he did was to grant an amnesty for those people who had not been following those codes and faced huge fines. This, of course, was equally foolish, but maybe it's not necessarily true that Erdogan is responsible for the appalling design faults and the failure to follow the earthquake code. The earthquake code was there. He was simply responding to the practical reality that people on the ground had not been following it for many years. And this, of course, was stopping construction. This was stopping business. This was producing huge fines and destroying businesses. Now, maybe the argument is that those businesses should have been destroyed. Maybe those people should not have been building buildings, and the huge loss of life is certainly a case. You know, buildings kill, not earthquakes. It's the buildings that fall, not the earthquake, that does the real damage. And Erdogan was caught on camera in 2019 celebrating the amnesty that he had rolled out for the citizens in the area of Maras, the Kahramanmaraş, which was at the epicenter of the earthquake. He says, we solved the problem of 144,156 citizens of Maras with zoning amnesty. This was the term that the construction companies were using, where they received these amnesties handed out to allow contractors to ignore the safety codes that have been put on the books, specifically to make apartment blocks, houses and office buildings more resistant to earthquakes. And yes, I mean, I think there's a moral responsibility there. But at the same time, Erdogan was recognizing the reality that already existed, rather than trying to impose the laws that he put in place. So there's ambiguity about what's going on. How far this is going to damage Erdogan's chances tomorrow, I can't possibly say. I think it's not only the earthquake which is going to damage him. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake, the first of those earthquakes, and the huge toll in life and destruction that followed. But the critics who have said that contractors were allowed to skip crucial safety regulations, that's not strictly true. They were allowed to skip the fines that followed their decision to skip safety regulations, and this has now become a key feature in the election campaign, along with other features. So simple opposition to Erdogan's rule. People are tired, perhaps, of the same ruler for 20 years. At the same time, I'm not convinced that the opposition has produced an alternative. What is their alternative? What is their positive? It's very difficult to see. Erdogan already has a series of plans rolled out for building new buildings in the earthquake area, for developing relationships with the neighboring countries, and he commands an enviable majority across the country. It may be enough for him to scrape through, despite the criticism about his handling of the earthquake and the whatever responsibility he takes for that amnesty being rolled out.